Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, this is day two. So now after this video, we'll have 363 more days. And as you read on the title, embrace your inner child. And the reason why I want to talk more about the inner child is very, very important for two reasons. And I was reading a little bit last night and I decided to take some notes that I would love to share with you. So spare with me, spare a few minutes for me. All right, the first thing I want to elaborate on is that we must reconnect with our inner child in order to have clarity on our purpose. And that might sound pretty bizarre, but in actuality, during our youth, I feel as if we had no hesitation in what it is that we desired to do, what we liked. We wasn't necessarily swayed so much by surrounding or outside opinions. So therefore, they gave us an advantage. They gave us leverage. So if we begin to put a little bit more emphasis on what it is that we want to do, what it is that we feel is necessary to do, that's where we'll find our success. And I also wrote that once that connection is made, we must build a relationship with our inner child for a number of reasons. And you have to think about that. We actually have to, once we finally get in touch with our inner child, that child is a complete stranger. That child is like, who are you? Stranger danger. So once you actually meet this inner child, you there's work that has to be done because you don't want this child screaming, help, stranger danger. So therefore you have to take the time out to actually build a relationship with this child. So because we have gotten so old mentally, emotionally, that we no longer have what it takes to, in a way, be interesting. Would you say that your kid, let's say if in a perfect world, are you able to go to a park and out of nowhere, if some kids say, hey, we want to play tag and we don't have enough, you make just enough. Or you go to a ballpark or a baseball park, or you go to a basketball court or double dutch or four square. It's only three kids there. And you're just sitting there, you're there just stressing out about life. And they say, hey, excuse me, ma'am, excuse me, sir. It's only three of us, but we would love to play four square. Would you be willing to play? Are you too cool or are you too grown or too adult to even just give these kids a solid? You might not even want to play, but I guarantee you just participating just so that they can play, you might just have the time of your life. And that's what I mean about inner child, because if we were in a position, or if the tables were turned and you were a child and they asked you, you looking at three potential new friends. And I feel as if we need to reconnect with the inner child because we are missing out on so many opportunities in life for that simple fact. We allow our egos to get in the way. We allow our insecurities to get in the way. We allow our doubts to get in the way. We allow our fears to get in the way. And I feel as if we can rekindle that fire with our inner child, so many doors will open for us. We have to get out of our comfort zone. We have to get back in the mindset, in the space of introducing ourselves to strangers. Because the reality of it is, strangers can actually help alter your life for the good, especially if you are the one of the very few in your circle or in your family that are trying to establish themselves. Who else is going to help you? A complete stranger. So you have to get out of that mindset that I can do this on my own. I'm an adult. I don't need anyone. In actuality, you do, because your net worth is only as good as your network. So, however good your network is, or your ability to network with people, that is the only way that you can really define your net worth. For example, you think about Jeff Bezos. No, let's think about Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was a brilliant man. And he was brilliant because he was so in tune with his inner child. He has to be. In order to make computers as convenient and as incredible as they are today, think about it. Only a child would think about that you can take a computer around all day long, play games all day long, be distracted all day long. Of course, this isn't what it was meant to be. However, Apple did something incredible simply because he pioneered convenience. He pioneered everyone should have this power accessible in their own home. And therefore, that revolutionary pioneer childlike mindset, when he passed away, those people kept the torch going by saying, you know what? Instead of just having these things in your home, what if you could have them in your pocket all day long? What if you can use these things to be focused, or use these things to help you all day long? That's what it takes to have a revolutionary accomplishments. You have to have that mindset. You have to be connected with the inner child. And he wasn't afraid to surround himself with other people that could help him fulfill his dream, his vision. He wasn't too cool. He wasn't too prideful to where he wasn't willing to ask donors for assistance, or donators, I'm sorry, not donators, patrons, and also investors to invest in his child. Like, because a lot of people are like, man, this is immature. Why? No, people have work to do. We don't have time to be on a computer or building computers all day long. But look at us today. It has rewritten history, that all because of this man sat down and imagined something bigger, something greater. He was in tune with his inner child. He was able to revolutionize the world that we live in today. So it is very important that you consider reconnecting that relationship with your inner child. Because you think about it. What was your childhood obsession? What is it that you obsessed over as a child? How did it make you feel? Did it give you some sense of purpose? Like we talked about yesterday, for me and my personal relationship as a child, I loved helping people. I felt fulfilled when I could help someone with their yard. And when they tried to give me a little money, I would turn it down because I really just enjoyed people being shocked at this young man taking the time out on a Saturday or on a Friday to help cut the yard. And it's the same thing. Like, I feel that this is my passion and my purpose, that I'm able to just turn on the camera in the luxury of my office and just share things with you that I feel that will be beneficial not only to myself, but you as well. That is another thing. I get fulfillment out of aligning with purpose. And I only came up with that epiphany is when I was thinking, one day I was like, man, what am I supposed to do with my life? And then I started thinking, well, what did I enjoy doing when finances wasn't an issue? What did I enjoy doing when finances were nothing, where it wasn't on the front of my mind? Because finances can be the reason that we have to do everything to where life becomes work. And then I was thinking, and I'm thinking, and I'm like, man, you know what? I really enjoyed being hands-on, being helpful in any way, form, or fashion, being a support system to those in need, giving an encouraging word, motivational word, if I had one. And here we are. I feel like I'm in tune with purpose. I feel fulfilled that I'm able to do this. I'm going to devote myself for the next 364 days because I connected with the inner child. And that's what I want to encourage you to do. So I'm going to leave you with that. I want you to connect with your inner child because that's where your purpose is. Because in my opinion, finances will not change how I feel. A new car won't change how I feel. New materials won't change how I feel. Nothing will change how I feel because I am ecstatic. I am excited. I feel fortunate enough to do what it is that I'm doing now because I would have did it. I was born doing it. I feel like I probably helped my mom after she gave birth to me. I was patting her on her head, said, "You did a good job. I can feed myself now. Give me my baba." I mean, I was a couple hours old. I said, "Here, you rest. I'll feed myself. Do you want something from the cafeteria? I'll walk down to the cafeteria in the hospital and get you something. Grab you something to eat. It's on me for carrying me for the last 9 months. This is the least I can do." But seriously, all jokes aside, I want you to take that time out. I want to challenge you to spend some time with yourself. Imagine. And I have to leave you with this. There's two things you have to do when you meet that inner child. Two things. You have to encourage that inner child because you're starting a new journey. That inner child does not know you. You are a complete stranger. So you might have to bring some toys. You might have to bring some candy. You might have to even apologize because it's been so long since you've spent time with the inner child. However, be willing to encourage, be patient with that child because that inner child, it's probably, you think about it, if you leave a child at home or in a room for an hour and you're taking a nap, that room is not going to look like, you know what to expect. So imagine however long you've been away from your inner child, you can anticipate that it's going to be a little chaotic. And it's all in the mind. You have to create this atmosphere, create this world in your mind. And it starts with it. It takes time. You have to spend time. Don't keep putting it off. You need to get in connection with your inner child. I'm challenging you. I'm encouraging you to. And the reason why I am telling you this is because whenever you start a new endeavor, a new thing, it takes the inner child in you to encourage you to keep going. It takes the inner child in you to pat yourself on the back for any small wins because the adult in us can be so critical. The adult in us can say, well, why am I doing this? What purpose is this serving? What point is this? This is childish. This is immature. Exactly. That's why you need to encourage the inner child so that the inner child can embrace this awkward position that you have forfeited for so long. So go ahead. You have to get back there. And also, we've aged in every area. Let's fight to stay youthful. We have to. We got to. We have to. Because that's where it matters. So encourage yourself, exercise, run. I want to challenge you to do 3 things. I always leave you with a challenge. 3 things, and I'll see you tomorrow. The first thing is I encourage you to encourage yourself. You got to encourage yourself. No matter how small or how micro it might or insignificant it might appear or feel, you have to encourage yourself. You have to do that. Please do it for the bombs community. You have to encourage yourself. The second thing I want you to do, I want you to exercise because guess what? Some random children might come to you and say, hey, can you finish our 4 square? It's only 3 of us. So guess what you got to do? You got to get up and say, I would love to. Can you hold our jump rope? It's only 1 of me. Or it's 2 of us and we want a double dutch. We're working on a performance. Hey, we need a 5th man. Could you run with us, man? Because we need to complete our team. And that's what you have to do. You got to exercise so you can be ready for those positions. It's like we get ready for every position in life except for the small ones. And the small ones are the ones that are insignificant. So get ready for that position. That position is to do something extra, not curriculum, but extraordinary, because yeah, because if you don't, your back is gonna let you know the next day, your ankles, your knees, your calves, your shoulder, your whole body is gonna tell you that you haven't been doing anything. So this is why I want you to exercise so you can be ready for that moment, that single moment, because that kid might need you to climb that tree and save that cat. That moment. Don't call the fire department. You go save that cat. And the last thing I want to leave you with is make time out of your day. Make time out of your day to imagine. I mean, imagine the possibilities that you can accomplish, that you can achieve simply by accessing and tapping into your inner child. As always, I really did enjoy this video. Hopefully you found some value in it. As always as well, befriend the day. And the journey starts again tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. I'll be here